Hold up, hold up. Yeah. Hold up, hey, woman. Hold up, hey, woman.
Hi! It's us. It's the Celestial Sisters.
And it's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. Drink them if you got them. Yes, please.
And we're doing a little bit of a mukbang tonight, so that way
we can have tacos.
we can have tacos, because, well, you can't have
It's
tacos.
actually tacos. This is tacos in
Street
California.
tacos.
Street tacos in California.
Yeah.
And then we have some rice and beans.
And
We have some salsa on there. Hell yeah, this is gonna be good. If this is your first time stumbling upon us, I'm Erin.
And I'm Marley.
We are Celestial Sisters, and this is
Snake oil.
We're gonna be just hanging out, talking about some main topics.
We don't have any products to review tonight, so we're going to be doing some what's trending in the topics.
Yeah, what's trending? Yeah, like we sat there really scouring through what we could
It wasn't
find.
so negative to talk about.
Well, yeah, because I don't know if you noticed, but we steer away from the political talk and the serious nature stuff, because everyone's got their opinions, and we don't want it to become a battle. We just want to have fun. So, which is how we are anyway.
Well, one of the concerts that we went to that I can't wait to see again is that we went to Katy Perry. Mm-hmm. And so you see us dressed up. We dressed up for Katy Perry.
Yeah, 80s all the way.
Yeah, and then so Katy Perry's been in the news. She just went to space with Gail King and a few other women on the blue, what was it called?
Anyway, what's wrong with Katy Perry?
Yeah, what is wrong with her?
I want to know what happened. I really want to know what happened. Because
Blue Origin is what it's called, sorry.
Blue Origin. I really want to know what happened. Because I didn't know that everyone, like Wendy's is making fun of her.
They said on social media, like, Katy Perry is returned to, is touched back down to the ground. And they said, can you send her back?
I don't understand.
And then they said, I kissed the ground and I liked it, because she kissed the ground when she came back. And they were saying it was frivolous because of the cause, but when do civilians really get to go to space? This is a new market for us.
Not only that, but
And it was for women.
I mean, who cares what she does? She had an opportunity and she took it.
I mean, it's not like they went to another planet. They were in the above the stratosphere for 10 minutes.
It's 10 more minutes than I would have gone up. We were having this conversation.
I would have no problem doing it.
See, and I'm still under that trauma field of when the Challenger blew up on television while all of us were watching it in the fourth
We need
grade.
another 7 astronauts. Oh, that was the bad joke.
Was that third grade? No, that was fourth
Fourth
grade.
grade.
No, fourth grade.
5th grade actually it happened when
No, it was fourth
I was
grade.
at Fremont. Fourth
That
grade.
was fourth grade.
Damn it.
Wow, I've been right a lot.
I know. I was like, I've been a year
I
ahead
love
or
being
behind.
right because I'm never right when it comes to remembering.
Well, where we grew up, you went to a different school every year until junior high, pretty
Well,
much.
you came in at a point where third grade.
Third grade.
Right? I was still where I was at in school, we had Sunny Slope from kindergarten through third grade, and then we had Fremont for fourth grade.
Earl Hardin for 5th.
And then we went to Earl Hardin for 5th grade, and then we went to Rancho for 6th and 7th and 8th grade.
And then
Everybody went to the high school.
Right.
Because there was no other high school.
Well, I started off in
It was
Ohio and did kindergarten, first grade there, then moved back here, did 2nd grade in Aromas, then moved and did 3rd grade in Hollister at Calaveras, which was the furthest thing from where I lived, and that was their EID kind of, or whatever it's called, their intermixing of cultures. And I was all for it. So then 3rd grade, and the school's called Calaveras, which means like skull and crossbones. And then went to Fremont, then to R.O. Hardin, and then finally, it's like I'd gone to a different school every year until junior high.
Well, I heard that the class of 2025, I mean the class of 1995 is having their 30-year reunion. And because my cousin who graduated the year behind us, she let me know that
They're more organized than us. We had a 20th, and they couldn't get it together for anybody to help out or whatever.
I live so far away. Otherwise, I would have volunteered to help, at least in some way.
I lost the remote. I mean, the microphone.
It's all right.
1 second.
The only way you guys can hear her, because her voice doesn't carry at all. You know,
It might be one of those disappearing items that's not going to show up right now.
That's fair.
Oh, here it is.
There it goes.
I've had that happening today a lot.
A lot.
I know. And then yesterday I had a fun day. Dropping stuff.
Everything. That was kind of humorous, actually. She took me to my procedure, which went fine, by the way. And as we were
She needed
just
coffee.
out and about, and I just needed coffee. After the thing was dropsy, bitch, dropsies. I think you should just leave it off at this point.
Well,
Put it on your ear.
I'm just good.
Put it in your tatas. Yeah, why not?
Why not? Hey, maybe get a few more likes and views. It might be muffled though.
No, but we were out and about, and we went to a thrift store.
That was having like a 50% off day, and I'm like, ooh. And the parking lot was full. That should have tipped us off.
I was not really in the mood to shop.
She was out of it.
I was so out of it.
And I went in there, we found a few things, and we looked at the line, and everybody's carts were filled to the brim, and it was at least 20 people deep, and only 3 cashiers moving so slow.
So to be fair, I hate shopping.
And I have anxiety of lines.
So when she asked me if there was anything we could live
That's
without,
usually why I thrift, so there's not usually that.
but when she asked me when there was anything we could live without, I was like, nope, I can
Is
live
there
without
any?
everything.
Yep. And I just left the cart. I'd normally put the shit back, but I didn't.
Normally we try to put things back, but you know what?
My anxiety was like, oh, hell no.
I was not 100%. I was functioning
Yeah.
at probably like 35 or 40.
Yeah. So then...
So then we go over to the Dollar Tree to get a few beverages.
so we
and
can ride because we're in between home.
And this girl goes over to grab something and knocks one off the shelf, lands on the floor, and splatters everywhere.
And she looks at me because she knows I'm like notorious, like, help me. Can I get somebody to help me? I'm going to clean this up. And it was not that day. I was like, nope. Like, I'll pay for our stuff and get out. I'm like, yep, today I am that bitch.
Never ever that bitch, but that was pretty funny. That, and I'm always that person who puts carts away.
Yeah, I do.
I try to always take carts back where they belong.
Yeah,
and
I
not
still
leave them
can't
strewn
help.
around. I think it's just kind of, I was
Common courtesy to your fellow humans. It's like, really, you don't have that much time. You can walk through the store for hours putting stuff in your cart, but you can't walk the 10 feet to put it away.
right.
Because,
know,
like,
you're
I'm
tired.
done with shopping. I've loaded the car. No, do the 2 extra minutes of...
Yeah, and then get pissed when somebody else's cart hits your car. Oh, anyway.
Just be a good
So-
woman and do those things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just... At least we were trained to do that stuff.
We were.
We were. And respect your elders, do certain things, don't talk a
There were
certain way.
certain things
Like,
that a generation has missed.
Like, my parents wouldn't dare make a separate meal for me because I'm picky. Oh, hell no. No. There's always the 2 or 3 bite rule. You have to try it. You don't know you don't like it until you try it. And then, but things were spicy, whatever. Kids didn't get to dictate. Parents did. It's like, how do you develop flavors and stuff?
So we have a visitor.
Yes. She never,
It's one of her cats. One of our cats.
yeah.
No.
Because we have Mexican food up here.
Yeah. No, but like when we were, even when I was raising my kids, like I have my cousin's little boy over, and that makes him one of 6. And he's a very picky eater, but I explained to him, like, you're one of 6. There's no special meals here. You can either eat it, or I can call your mom. She can come pick you up, because I'm not gonna start
My
serving
little
out
brothers-
extra food. Do you know that he actually became someone who really appreciated culinary.
Yeah,
tasting.
all of your kids after
Yeah.
doing that. Well, it was like my brothers, very specific. My dad, married their mom and adopted them when they were little, and like the kids had such particular taste. They would only eat like
Chicken nuggets.
tortillas,
I remember
spam sandwiches,
tortilla just plain.
and then scone things. It was like unhealthy. And my dad sells fruits and vegetables and commodities for a living. So there's no way that those kids are not going to have to eat some vegetables. So luckily it was always the same thing. And I'm not saying that they love veggies or whatever, but it definitely opened them up to other things.
Yeah, all my kids love food.
I am picky, but I'm a chef,
cooking.
and I
They
will
can all
try
cook.
it unless I'm allergic to it.
They can all cook, even if it's only a little bit. They still know the skill.
And those are all the things that aren't always taught, like how to keep a home. Why are you paying your kids to do things that they need to learn and do every day that they're going to need to function as an adult? Pay them for the things that are outside of the home that they do that are not
Outside
life
of the normal.
skills.
Outside of the normal.
Yeah.
Like
Cleaning the
your room
bathroom,
and cleaning your
laundry, that should not be paid for.
Those were all things we were expected to do.
Exactly.
The things we got extra credit for, and I remember you did, was vacuuming.
Well, my sister and I, every Saturday, we had our chore list, but it was like not a service. It had to be like a deep clean. We had to get the
I remember being there
panels and everything.
from one of
Like,
them, and
yeah,
we couldn't leave until you were done.
right. She got her $20. I got my $5. I always thought that, but to be fair, I didn't clean as well. My mother pointed that out. I'm like, yeah, fair, facts. I wanted to go be with my friends.
Well, and I that was always my punishment as a kid was like if I got grounded, it was always you have to clean the house. You have to clean the whole house. Like if you're gonna be here, you're gonna be cleaning. That's your job.
I mean, my mother had us clean the baseboards and stuff. And I remember she had us clean them in our
I used to
kitchen.
make a joke game out of it with the kids.
Yes. Well, we'd use Pledge, and my dad had come home from work, and they'd been golfing and a little bit intoxicated, and he was like, "Hey guys, I want some milk and cookies." And so he comes into the kitchen to get it, and he like slips and like, "Oh, like I didn't know I was that fucked up." So then he gets his Nilla wafers and milk.
He was pretty fucked up.
He was, but he wasn't that moment. It was like, oops, I forgot. I pledged the baseboards in the kitchen and it got a little linoleum.
Yeah. Hey, you know something else from 1989?
Ooh, sorry.
There was a small win for the Menendez brothers.
Oh, that is true today.
Because Lyle and Eric Menendez, who were serving life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murders of their parents in 1989.
They've served 20 years of it, I believe.
No,
already.
35.
35 of it, yes.
They've served 35, and they have been petitioning the court to get a resentencing hearing because, let's face it, the trauma that they faced.
I know. They weren't even,
we know
there was
so
no
much-
victims' rights at that point to say.
We know so much more now. Like, and there was no one really there to defend them.
If you're constantly traumatized.
And they have apologized for doing that to their parents. They have, they've gone
and their
done,
families rallying around them getting out.
Yeah, and they've
They want
done
'em
really
out.
good work while they were in prison helping other people.
And one of their
Like,
aunts is like dying or
Cancer.
something.
Yeah. So the judge just ruled today, because I've been watching the story, just ruled today that they could go ahead with the hearing for the resentencing, and denied the prosecution. So go. I think they should get out. They've served 35 years. They were like,
It's not like
so
they are married
young.
with kids or anything.
They were
Their
so
whole lives are
young.
pretty gone.
They were so young, and your brain isn't even fully formed at the age that, and then to go through all that trauma. Now that the world knows what trauma can do
On
to
top of that,
people,
it was that
We all
billionaire
live with
boy
some of it.
era, and
we all live with trauma,
putting on airs to make everybody think that you're.
right?
That was their facade, even with the abuse from the parents.
To make everything look as good as possible on the outside.
I'm a tennis star, and I'm this, and I'm a rich playboy,
But on the inside, to be fair though, I've known people to be in those kinds of very abusive relationships.
Absolutely.
Okay? I'm gonna talk about something real sensitive here real quick. And the mental anguish that a person goes through
It's Stockholm syndrome until it breaks you.
until it breaks you, and then there's a point where you can no longer take any
Anymore.
more.
And either you break or you break
And
them.
you have put into your head, you believe that there's some part of you that's not going to make this out of it alive,
That you're
and that this person is going to unalive you, right?
And at any point that anybody finds out about any of this, if you're not unalived, you will never survive that.
So I've known many people to go through that, and I would never wish upon them a lifetime in prison if they were pushed to a brink of breaking.
Exactly. And
especially if you're young and you have
and the parents made fun of like, was it Lyle, whichever one had the hairpiece, and just you called him
just horrible names.
horrible names,
I can't imagine being a parent and calling
molesting him.
and hurting my child in a way that will, making fun of your children
To make yourself look better.
It's one of the most detrimental things you can do. I tease my kids.
There's playful teasing.
Oh, of course, there's playful teasing.
You know when they've had a moment that they even laugh about, that you can kind of joke about.
Right, but you don't find their insecurity and use that against them.
Be like, oh, well, I know that you knocked out your front teeth. I'm going to tell everybody,
That's just horrible.
It's just horrible.
Horrible.
It's like...
So, yay for the Menendez brothers. I'm glad they get to have a possibility of getting out and reconnecting with their family, having some semblance of a life outside. And, they've done their time. They were so young. They're middle-aged.
Yeah.
So I think that it's okay to let people out if they've served.
Like, that was never even their nature at the time.
It was just their breaking point. They believed that they could not get out of that situation.
And now we understand that, but we didn't then. Plus, it was all over the news. It was like...
Even 10 years ago, it wasn't...
Well, it was like around the OJ's stuff. It was just... We didn't have social media. It was sensationalized.
That's another thing we were going to talk about, was that when we were growing up, we didn't have cameras around.
We are the last generation of not having social media.
Not having social media, not having full access to the internet, smartphones, any kind of phone. Someone wanted to call you, they had to leave you a...
I think I was 24, 25, 23 when I got my first phone, flip phone.
I think I was about 22.
Well, I remember 23.
That was because I was a nanny.
Yeah, 23 because culinary school.
I had a pager and I had a
Carolyn had a pager. She'll laugh.
But even cell phones wasn't until maybe 23, 24. Because they weren't, and it was a Nokia.
Well, mine was in the package bought at the store,
but
Virgin Mobile prepaid.
I do remember my grandmother getting one of those car phones, and it would have to plug into the...
my dad had one of those too.
And it had a zip-up pocket and everything. Yeah, I remember your dad's Jaguar.
Well,
that was the
he had the one, but then he had the actual mic put into it.
Bluetooth before it was Bluetooth.
No, it was just wired.
Well, no, it's not. It's like Bluetooth before Bluetooth. Yeah. But hey, and did you know that Kermit the Frog will be the University of Maryland's 2025 commencement speaker? It's me. The Lovable Puppets appearance honors the long history between the University of Maryland and the Puppets creator Jim Henson, because he went there.
Yeah, he graduated, I think, in 1960. And he's been going back since like 1996 and doing this whole thing with the puppets. That's become a tradition with them.
Hey, if you like tonight's episode so far, give it a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a subscribe, because this is what we're doing. Eating our tacos.
We're literally doing a mukbang and just talking about what random stuff
we would come up with. Yeah.
Well, that one short I watched where the lady was like, I don't poop my own poop. I mean, literally. Did you see it finally?
I did, but what the hell? But there was another one that I saw. There was similar that this girl was telling her husband that she wanted to learn sign language because her eyesight was going bad. And she couldn't understand
So I
in
think
order
it is for
to
death.
see somebody else's hands moving, you need vision. You're not Helen Keller, unless you want to be. And that's totally fine. I support all disabilities, like full on, 100%. Just regular people with something that's going on. So like I just don't.
Well, we had a big earthquake. Yes, crazy solar stuff. They keep saying this guy Stephen Burns that I watch, and he's like a meteorologist, kind of geologist. Anyways, he goes over like the Schumann resonance and the flares, and like he's like, I was wrong. There's bigger ones, and they keep building.
I have to take these off.
Oh, no problem. And
I
so
can't see. It makes my eyes even worse than they already are. So.
and he went back in history and says usually when we have this kind of stuff, these solar flares, that's when a lot of volcanic activity and earthquakes happen. And notice it's been happening a lot. So we had a 5.2 down in like San Diego area yesterday. And then, God, there was something, a big one like in somewhere in Asia, not Burma or some place, but there's been
Thailand had their
that was
earthquake
a couple
weeks ago.
but there's been a few more since.
Yeah. I wonder if they were rockers or rollers.
Well, they showed the video of the one that hit
If
Thailand
any of you
itself
don't
rocked.
know, okay, so let me explain that question. There is a difference between
A shake and a roll.
There's a difference between earthquakes. There's one that goes on that kind of rolls, where it kind of feels like you're on a wave, right? Kind of rolls through. And then there's another one that jolts you like this and shakes you. So you want to know if it's a shaker or
Is it a rolling one or is it a shaker?
is it a roller or a shaker?
Move it in a shaker.
Because like if it's a shaker, those suck.
Yeah,
Those,
because that's how you lose stuff in your house.
In 1989,
the Loma Prieta.
the Loma Prieta earthquake we were involved in.
October 17th, right?
2 days before my birthday.
5:04 p.m. Battle of the Bay.
5:03.
Oh, I have 5:04 on the shirts that we have.
It was 5:03 p.m. I was at swim practice, and the World Series was on.
Battle of the Bay.
Yeah, Battle of the Bay, and it was scary. Our
amazing.
town had devastating.
Luckily, we weren't like tall structures, but
We had some buildings,
Well, yeah.
places that came off, and the sidewalks were up. Houses
we're not talking about 100-story buildings. And the thing with Hollister is that we have the San Andreas and the Loma Prieta. We cross-sect two of them. So not only the San Andreas hits all the way down to San Diego, that's where it's hitting, but it comes all the way up here, and then we have the Loma Prieta.
rolls, and then it hits that Loma Prieta one, and then it messes with that one.
Exactly. So
It was but that one in 1989 was also in same era as
well, I mean, shortly after
Menendez
that,
brother.
we
Menendez
started
brothers
having.
happened
I know, as I said, all that stuff was happening, and we got canned water because our water supply. But I think that started that whole bottled water thing was kind of.
Well, they had some out, like
but nobody was.
and
We weren't.
Evian.
We would buy the big thing with the spigot if you're going to buy, not bottles.
Right, or have those big
Jugs. That's what I'm saying. But individualized water, we had the Anheuser-Busch water, which your Uncle Wayne still has a can from.
There's a couple that we have like put away in like time capsules.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I was like, how can they send us back to school and there's no running water? Well, we got you canned water.
I know.
That's how they got us back.
Anheuser-Busch.
By Anheuser-Busch. That's how they got us back in school.
Budweiser water. I remember I was in 4-H because I was a 4-H person.
I was watching a movie.
And we went down and actually were working the almost like FEMA would, handing out water, intaking people, giving them blankets, giving them food, giving them shelter because there was a lot of people that were displaced.
Yeah. No, it destroyed stuff.
Because we were even getting people from Pajaro.
Well, my aunt, in Aromas, her couch went through her window and things like that.
It was horrible. Yeah, and it was 2 days before my birthday, so yay me.
And my dad's, because I was with him. We were
going
back
on 12?
The Battle of the Bay was starting to get going, but we were watching a movie beforehand. I remember watching with him, and the DVD, VCR stopping, and I'm going, what's going on? And then it hit, you know, and that was...
I'm having a hard time remembering how old I was in 1989. I may have been 13.
Yeah, you were
Yeah,
12, 13.
I was 13, going on 13. because
Going on 13.
It was the year before we went into high school.
Exactly.
I was 13
We
when
graduated
went into
in
high
90.
school, but turned 14 in my freshman year.
Exactly.
That's right. I was always the baby of the group.
I remember, I forget the school years, apparently, which school was which year. And when
That's
you
what I'm
got it
here
one
for.
every different year.
But see, it's usually reversed. You can remember people and like details about like, you know.
You were
having
dancing over there to this song.
Yeah, having a dance party in our friend's bedroom and me slamming my face down on the carpet and getting road rash. Although I could do the centipede, I failed so hard. Those are the things I'm glad we didn't have cameras for. Those moments, because
Don't centipede on shag carpet, like long
Terrible.
60s shag.
terrible. I also have
Oh, look like Raggedy Ann hair.
I also have one friend who, you know, Sally, she can't handle when my hair is in braids, so one of these nights I'm just gonna wear braids just to piss her off. She always wants to pull them.
Since what, second grade?
Third grade.
Third grade.
Yeah, she's a year ahead, but she was always.
I'm the same age as her, but I went to school with Aaron.
Actually, she's a year older than you. She's
2
a
years.
year older than she's a year older than you and 2 years older than me.
Yeah. She's a baby.
She's old.
That's right. My sister, we were discussing that her friend,
Love you, Sally. Just kidding.
her friend is turning 50. And then Char's also. And I'm like, so all your closest friends are in my age group.
Well, you know,
I think when you get in that group age, it doesn't matter 4,
but
5,
even
10
now,
years. No, it
I mean,
doesn't.
like the age difference between my boyfriend and I is almost 4 years.
Yeah. So, like I said, but you don't feel like, oh, I'm 4 years older
It doesn't
than you.
matter
I'm
now.
more support. Yeah.
I tell him all the time, it doesn't matter now, but back when we were younger,
That would have
I would
mattered.
have been babysitting you.
Yeah.
Weird how that works. Just by 4 years. Mm-hmm. Because humans take so long to grow
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
become independent that they need other smaller humans to watch after them while their parents have to work. At least that was how it was back in our day. Back in our day, I had my own babysitting company, my own babysitting business.
Man, you hustled. We were
I was
talking
I
about
was
that.
a pimp with my babysitters.
Well, you lived in an area where there was children. I should have been babysitting elderly people where
I went
I
out and
grew
hustled.
up.
I went out and handed out a flyer. I worked for my church ladies, moms, you know, I worked for the swim team lady moms and like all those people. I mean, I hustled to get those jobs and I passed all that around so that other people could benefit from being hired. So
I think, was it next Tuesday, we're going to try to do our Bob Ross
oh
night?
yes, we've decided that we're gonna do Bob Ross night once a month because we've come up with some really great ideas and how
Different things that we can do, like we'll probably do original designs the first time her and I just kind of see while we're doing it. And then maybe
it's
one
gonna be
night
almost like a nailed it for Bob Ross.
Yes.
right? Nailed it, Bob
for
Ross.
Bob Ross. And then there's going to be one while we're talking and both of us are painting the same
On the same,
canvas.
on the same canvas.
So we were just thinking, like, playing around with it a little bit. And we also have the Bob Ross game. And that takes 2 more people to be here.
I think I can fill those spots. I think we got this. Then we can.
Yeah.
And we have been in contact with Michael, so we'll be meeting up with him this
My
week.
sister said she'd be down. So, and
Maybe when he's here, we Ghostbuster and Bob Ross.
then he would have to be ready for next week. We'll see.
No.
Well, we can just
No,
do our own
once a
Bob
month.
Ross. Yes,
Once a
true.
month.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. I don't have a problem admitting when I'm wrong.
Nor do I.
A lot of people do, but
It's easier to admit defeat.
yeah, it's
You have to ask yourself.
less of a battle.
Yeah, ask yourself if you want to
Like,
die.
am
on
I
that
that insecure that I can't admit when I'm wrong?
Is that a hill I want to die on?
Exactly. No.
If I'm wrong, I'm going to die.
Exactly.
Anyway, we really appreciate you hanging out with us. I still have some tacos left. I'm just gonna finish my
She's
beverage
a
here.
slow eater. That's why
know
I
what,
knew I was
though?
going to eat hers too.
We're gonna go try out Rumble. I think for a
Yeah, we were suggested
that.
a Rumble account, so that's the new thing, I guess, and you can do a lot more on Rumble.
come join us. We're gonna be continuing to have our tacos, or she's gonna have some.
I have
other tacos,
radishes and lemons, which
I like. But thank you so much for hanging out with us.
thank you.
We love coming to you every week, 2 times a week, sometimes 3 if we can manage it, and just hanging out because this is what we're going to do anyway.
Exactly.
So we love just sharing our time with you and with each other and elevating that vibration, reminding everybody, be a good human.
Keep the energy positive.
Always stay positive. Always stay positive. Remember to always look for the rainbow on a cloudy day, and it doesn't have to be a really cloudy day.
And follow us, like us, subscribe, share. You know,
we'll see you
we're
later.
going to be doing this
Yeah.
regardless. You might as well watch the crazy antics happen.
Yeah, you know. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.